Let's talk keto food prep. Hey everyone, Dr. Ryan Lowry here, and today we're going to be talking about keto food prep. And we won't be doing it today. I have a ton of amazing friends in the keto space that make amazing meals and amazing dishes all the time. And I'll be working on recreating some of those very soon. But I want to talk today about the science behind why is meal prep even important and why you should be focusing on it to the best of your ability, right? Listen, we all go through days where it's like, hey, we drive past something and this temptation leans us in and is like, should I just stop there? But if we have something ready for us at home, how likely are we to just drive past it and not stop, right? That is the ultimate key. First and foremost, meal prep starts at the grocery store, right? From the grocery store, it goes to what's at your house. Because as easy as it would be for me to sit here and tell you, hey, every single weekend when you go shopping, get everything you need for the week, on Sunday meal prep, and then you're ready for the week. If you can do that, great. But sometimes life just throws us a curveball and like, we don't have that Sunday to prepare and we just need to go with what's in the freezer or what's in the cabinet to prepare for that week for yourself, for your family, for your kid, whatever it is that you're preparing for, you might only have what's available. And so my first piece of advice is make sure things that are in your house or in your pantry are conducive to your overall goals, right? Don't have like these crazy TV dinners that are there that you love or that you really enjoy that are just staring at you every single time you're opening the freezer and you're like, I'm really hungry, it's Monday night, I didn't really food prep on Sunday, but this TV dinner's staring at me, and you're more likely to cave, right? And then create this cascade of negative events. So it starts with what you have available in your house. When you have that under control, now it starts with actually making your meals, right? And like I said before, I have a ton of amazing friends and colleagues in the keto space that make delicious meals. We have amazing recipes available on ketogenic.com if you want to make some of those for your entire week. But the reason is you want to make sure when you're making your meals, you food prep, right? You're making enough for not only just that night, but hopefully for a couple of days, if not the entire week. Now, why is this so important? So science shows us that we all have a temptation meter, right? It's subconscious, but we all have it. And throughout the day, it gets drained. And eventually once it gets drained and we don't replenish it, we end up caving, right? So let me give you an example. Imagine you're going throughout your day and you go into work and someone just brought in delicious, hot, fresh donuts, right? If you're in Florida, you know what Krispy Kremes are, or like Dunkin' Donuts, and you're like, you love donuts, and you look at them and you're like, oh, you know what, I'm keto, I'm gonna stay away from them. You're able to buffer that. It's first thing in the morning, but that's gonna hit on your temptation meter. And then maybe for lunch, you go out with colleagues and you go and you get a Cobb salad and they're sitting and having an amazing, delicious sandwich that has a ton of carbohydrates in it. Maybe you're at Panera and it has a ton of carbohydrates in it and that was your favorite sandwich ever before you started doing keto. And you're sitting there eating your salad and you're like, I'm sticking to this, I don't wanna break it. That might hit your temptation meter a bit. And then after you're done working, you go to the store and you're going shopping and you go past the candy aisle and you hit the candy aisle and like, for me, it would be Sweetest Fish, right? Sweetest Fish were like my go-to when I was younger. And I would look at those and I'm like, oh, I could just, maybe if I just have a couple, right? I just sneak some in if it fits my carb content. No, I'm gonna squeak past them, right? And now my temptation meter is pretty depleted, right? And now imagine you get home and you don't have anything prepped for dinner. You're starving because you just walk past all these temptations at the store. You get home and you open up the freezer and that TV dinner that you loved as a kid, that you ate all the time before you were keto, is sitting there staring at you. And your temptation meters, it's fighting really hard. It's trying not to cave, but eventually you're just like, ah, screw it, I'll go back tomorrow, right? And this is the reality for a lot of us, right? A lot of people go through this cycle, and it might not be that exact same scenario, but there are temptations that we face throughout the entire day. It's one of the reasons why, like with ketogenic.com, our first step in how to start keto is clean out the garbage in your house. Imagine opening up your pantry and every single time Reese's peanut butter cups were staring me in the face, right? I'd have a problem. If they were looking at me every single time, I'd be like, oh, I really want that. And that would wane on my temptation meter, and it would be very difficult for me to get rid of or walk past other temptations throughout my day, because I'm starting my day and I'm living in a house where there's all these temptations around me, right? That's why it's so critical to remove those temptations. And it's one of the reasons why I'm talking to you today about the importance of meal prepping, is because when you aren't prepped, when your temptation meter's been drained throughout all the other aspects of life, and you come home for dinner, which is one of the most important meals, or probably even one or two of the only meals that you're eating throughout the entire day, and all those carbs or all those processed foods are staring at you and going, I'm ready to be eaten, and you're like, I want to stay keto, right? It drains that, and it forces you to cave if you aren't meal prep. But if you do, and you meal prep on Sunday or whenever your meal prep day is, you're less likely to cave, you're more likely to stick with your plan. And at the end of the day, is there some degree of flexibility? Yes, but it ultimately comes down to what is your commitment to yourself and your goals, right? I was told this once by a mentor: confidence comes from consistently sticking to the commitments we make with ourselves. What commitment are you willing to make with yourself? If it's that you're going to meal prep and avoid the cravings and caving in on the TV dinner, that's amazing. How do you build that confidence? Stick to that over and over and over again. And meal prepping is one of the ways you can overcome a lot of those cravings and crashings that we typically see. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know there's a lot of amazing recipes and things out there. Get to meal prepping. If you've never done it before, make sure you get good containers, store it, and then consume it for the rest of the week, or at least a couple of days. And you get to enjoy a delicious meal, not just once, but multiple times. So let us know in the comments what you're meal prepping for this week, or something that you want to learn how to meal prep, and we'll try and touch on that as well. So we appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon. Favorite sandwich ever. And you'll get fed in an hour, okay? Chill.